Hello, Solar Loon here. Oh, yeah, okay. Hello, Solar Loon here, and welcome to another stream. I am Solar Loon. I'm an independent game developer and musician and stuff, and I'm the creator of MasterPlan, which is a productivity app specifically tailored toward indie game developers. The goal is to make something that makes it easy to keep track of your tasks, easy to plan out your game projects, and that's what we'll be working on today. It's a program in progress, and I have it's pretty fully featured as it is, but we're basically rewriting it from scratch with SDL2 and Go, which is going to be interesting, or at least has been interesting. And so that's what we're going to be doing today. Hello to everybody in chat. Conifer, sorry for scaring you with the music suddenly turning on. That was not my intention. But yeah, so this is the current way the program looks. It's bright. It's really bright. Yeah, I need to probably make. I am loading a theme in, so I can make other themes. But the only one I have right now is Sunshine, which is basically the light theme. There will be a moonlight theme as well, a dark theme. Rashad Z says, "What's up, Solar? How's it going? Welcome." Cam ZX says, "I'm excited for the new look." Yeah, it looks pretty slick, and it's turning out pretty well. So, you know what? I don't want to like go between bright and dark constantly. So we're gonna make another theme. We're gonna make another theme for us to kind of make things a little more bearable for people who are watching this at night, watching the stream at night, because we're gonna be working on a master plan for a little while. So what we're gonna do first, we're gonna pull up this mock-up that we did last time when we were doing the stream, and this is the dark theme that I came up with it after the stream or before, I don't remember which. But this is the dark theme that we came up with, which is pretty nice. It's nice and neutral, bright colors, pretty distinct, but also pretty cool. Both figuratively, but also cool in terms of like color theory, right? It's these colors are all purples and blues and grays and greens. It's trending toward cool. I like that. I like the way this looks. So we're going to try to transmit this kind of theme over to the actual, the actual program. So first things first, we're going to just duplicate this. We're going to call this Moonlight. And we're going to say the background color is not white, but rather it's going to be this dark gray, which is 23, 24, 25. The grid color is this nice blue, which is 40, 44, 60. Menu color is this nice light blue, which is 220, 234, 238. I think I actually got these numbers wrong. It's 220, 220, 234, 238, 238. There we go. Font color is this dark gray, which is actually the same color. Yeah, 40, 44, 60 as the grid. We'll see if that works out. Check boxes are this color, which is 136, 163, 188. 136, 163, 188. And then the note color is this guy, which is this nice green, 89, 207, and 147. Oops. All right, so that should basically get us kind of over in the right direction. We'll see how that turns out. TJK says, do you already have a working implementation, or is that development starting now? It's not quite. It's working, but it's not nearly as. If you mean working implementation of MasterPlan, it's working, but it's not nearly as good as it once was. Like, there's not nearly as many features, not nearly as many shortcuts, not nearly as many task types, no saving, no loading. Like, all of that needs to be re-implemented. But it is working. Like, the program does build, and you can like do a couple of things in it, like literally a couple. So that's what we're going to be doing. Let me go ahead and pull up some music while we work. Just give me something nice and smooth. Hmm. 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 No. It's been a while since I've played this. Yeah, let's go with this. All right. So now what we're going to do is go to probably settings. Yeah, we don't want this. We want moonlight. Let's see if this loads. Yo, it does. Cool. This font color is off. This is too obnoxious. But hold on. I'm playing multiple things here. Let's go with this, Spacefaring. That's the name of the song, Spacefaring. Conifer says, about the music, do you create all the music you play on the stream? Yes. I'm loving them and I was wondering if I can listen to them anywhere. Thank you. You can listen to some of them on Spotify, Google Play Music, which is now, I guess, YouTube Music, SoundCloud, but nowhere has all of, like, everything. The things I play on my streams sometimes come from Gearend and sometimes come from just my own library. So I don't have anywhere where I've uploaded all of my music or even a considerable portion of it. A lot of it is just on my computer, unfortunately. But you can find me on like SoundCloud or Spotify. Let me put a link in the description, or in the chat rather, where you can listen to some of my stuff. If SoundCloud would load. There we go. Spotify has some of my music, but not very much. All right, so the font is off. It's white. It should be this dark color. Did we not define the font color? We did. So why is it white? Let's see. All right, so it might be just that we never actually modulate the color. So we're getting the texture of each of these glyphs. And then when we render, and I'll go over kind of I'll go over a little bit of what I've done over the past like couple days in a couple seconds. I just want to get this done first, get this working first. I guess this is probably where we're looking at. Let's see. This is too low. There we go. All right, that should work. There we go. Very nice. Irving says there are some usability things, selection with double or triple click, for instance, that would be nice to look at eventually. MasterPlan has been the planning tool that has best fit my needs ever. Thank you. Glad to hear that. And TJK says, +1 to that. Actually, you may need to address double clicking sooner rather than later, as input gestures usually shape the code architecture pretty significantly. Yeah, SDL2 has like double clicking like built in. Like you can tell if something is double click. So the way that this works currently is that you can click and drag to move well, they used to be called tasks, now they're called cards. But you can click and drag to move them around. Let me make this big. And then you can double click to edit them, to edit, like, for example, text. So you can just be like, oh, I want to make it bigger. And then you can type in here and be like, oh, I'm going to type out the full description of the main character of my game, Theodore Roosevelt. Theo was born in a trailer in 1901 and was kidnapped by bears back in 1897. How? Time travel. So the text it word wraps, which is cool. It word wraps pretty solidly now. You can move it around. You can, rearrange it as at will, which is nice. The text is a little jank in terms of the way it looks. It's a little chunky, a little a little jank. Hopefully I'll be able to fix that. But the way that I tried to fix that so far is by upscaling the glyphs and then rendering them. So if you look at, let's see. So the font size, let me see if I can find it in GUI or common. Here we go. It's in the settings. So the font size by default is 50 point font, which is rather large. So we're rendering the glyphs, which is like a letter in this case, or a symbol, whatever. We're rendering that out to textures that we store in a text renderer. And then when we draw it, we size it down, which means that text should be crisp pretty much no matter what distance you're looking at it, more or less, which is good. I haven't tested this with custom fonts yet, but it should hopefully work well. We'll see in a couple seconds, I suppose, when I switch this over from the default font to this other one. It probably won't work that great, but it would be great if it did. Oh my gosh, it actually works really well. Now it's not perfect. You can see it's really like, it's really sharp. There's no anti-aliasing. I got to figure out how to do that well. But the upside is that this just looks kind of like, it's made for this font too, which is great because custom fonts did not work correctly in the previous version of MasterPlan. But this looks like there's potential here. There's potential here. Word wrapping still works pretty well. And it just kind of wraps according to just like letters. If it's just too long, then it just is like, well, you're just gonna have to eat this. It's not perfect, but it basically tries to wrap it around if possible. That's good. This is solid. This is actually usable. That's cool. This is cool. Yeah. I still have to add click middle mouse button to drag. Click middle mouse button and drag to pan. I still have to add maybe an option to do so with the left mouse button or right mouse button, because some people wanted that a thicker font would break. It shouldn't, because the way that it is, I basically make it so that the width or height is fixed. I don't remember which. The width is fixed. Then I get the aspect ratio and calculate the height. Either that or the vice versa, which means that a wider font or a taller font shouldn't break the bank. It should work fine. Don Duval says, yo, I finally managed to catch another live stream while it's happening. I missed the last few. Oh, congratulations. Hello. Welcome. Thank you very much for stopping by. Really do appreciate it. The font size will probably be configurable in program settings, but it shouldn't really need to be configurable. It should work pretty much out of the box. I'm going to try this other font that was kind of problematic. Let's move this. Silver. Let's see how this one does. Yeah, this one's shorter. This one's noticeably shorter. It's not great, but it's not like unreadable either. Let me see if I can pull it up in person, or how it should look. I'm trying to see if I can kind of preview it here. Yeah, so this is how it should look. It should look pretty solid. It's definitely not good. Yeah, it's definitely off. That might be a result of the font size. I can try a different one. I feel like this might have been like 27 Oh no, here we go. For silver.tdf, 21 is the ideal font size. Otherwise 30 seems to be reasonable. So let's try, if we go to settings, where's that? Over here. Let's try a font size of 21 and see how that goes. Yeah, it's not great. I feel like my method of doing this is like it's stretching it. Maybe it's stretching it because it's trying to keep each glyph within a certain horizontal space. Yeah, the height is the grid size. So basically each line is one of these big. One line, like this is a line. And then like, what the heck? Interesting. I think maybe new line characters don't exist in this font, or did I break it? I'm not sure which. Let's find out. Yeah, this is definitely, my font is also kind of messed up here as well. Okay, interesting. So new line is like dependent on the font, which is not good. We'll have to see. I'll have to see what could be causing this. It might be just a matter of like the font not having a new line character built in, and so that character doesn't get added to the buffer. Basically, we'll see. We'll see if we can kind of square that away. Yeah, there's some things that are definitely not great. We can try. Let's see. Let's try 30. 30 for the font size, but then also we wish to try maybe a different method of calculating the width. What if we rounded this off? Something like that. We could try this, see how that goes. Or rather, we made it rounded it up. Interesting. Looks like garbage, but it's interesting that it definitely looks noticeably different. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, it definitely looks like it needs to be corrected here. But it's definitely a good start. I feel like this is a good initial approach at getting the text to be at least visible, look good, look, usable. Like, it's not perfect, but it definitely is on the right track, I think. So what we're gonna do, let's see, there's a few things we need to do. One is add the ability to click and like position the caret. You also need to be able to click and drag to select text. So both of those need to be added. Panning with the middle mouse button as well. So let's go ahead and kind of write out what we're gonna do. Let me close a lot of this stuff. So the plan for today is going to be middle mouse click and drag to pen. We want to add also maybe another task type, another card type. I can implement, maybe I can try implementing another card type. What else? Click to position caret when editing text. Copy, paste text. Box. Let's see. All right, so this is the stuff that I basically need to do. I mean, there's a lot more I need to do, but this is kind of some things I need to do. So we'll go with maybe this one. Middle mouse click and drag to pen. Seems like a good thing to start off with. So we're just gonna go to, actually let's commit this these changes I've made so far. All right. All right, so this is largely everything. We can try rendering. I know that this is not what I just was talking about, but we can try rendering the font using a nicer, we can try rendering the glyphs from the font using a nicer process. At least we should be able to. Let me see. Send OTF. Yeah, that looks a little better. Not nearly as crunchy as before. I think the issue is probably because the font is, like, the letter, it's not being scaled evenly. We probably want the letters to be scaled within their zone evenly. That's really, I think, what the problem is. Let me add that to the to-do list. Okay. Anyway, this already looks a little better for these fonts, for this font rather. it's at least a little bit better. Not perfect, but better. That's fine. Let's see. What if we were to go like 60? Music Boy J Boy. Yo, how's it going? It definitely looks crisper. Like if we go at like font size 15, yeah, it's definitely like crunchy. Whereas if we go at like 100, it's pretty crisp. Hold on. All right. Oh, Music Boy says he's doing good. How am I? I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thanks for asking. So it seems like there's some sort of like perfect number where it's not like crunchy like this, but it's also not blocky like it was before. 50 is not quite there, I don't think. $25's a little bit closer. Nah, it doesn't look that great. I think 30 was pretty good. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. I have to figure out how to best calculate the correct size for this kind of stuff. But at least it's a good start. And it feels like it's kind of even across all fonts rather than my font doing, you know, basically being good and then the other fonts doing poorly. It should be kind of even. TJK says, I bet it's 32.5. It could be 32.5. But I think that also, I guess I can't do 32.5 because it's an integer for the font size. But we could do 33. But yeah, I feel like the core issue is probably going to be the actual scaling of each individual letter in the word. That's why it's not perfect. But this is okay. This is okay for a good start. This is good for... This is alright. It's alright for now. So now scanning, panning. That's what we're going to be working on. So project, it's going to be a mouse action. So we're going to put it in the mouse actions function. If you're neutral, if globals.mouse.button sdl.button middle dot held, then project dot pen camera dot I'm going to make a new thing for this, which is basically going to tell me when the mouse moves, what direction it moved in general. All right. We got X and Y, X relative, Y relative, relative motion. Okay, that's what we're looking for. So we will put that in here. All right, now for here, we want to basically print out global mouse relative movement. Okay. All right, so then we can just say like plus equal, or you know, position equals project dot camera dot position dot add. Relative movement. We can just do something like this. It's not actually moving, actually. Interesting that it's kind of working, but it's kind of not. Oh, this should be target position. I was like, why isn't this working? There we go. Music Boy says, I don't know what's going on, but I think it's cool. Thanks. Yeah, it is kind of cool. Let's multiply it by like 4. Pretty cool. Let's subtract this so that we don't. Yeah, that's better. And apologies for this little menu up here. I haven't gotten around to getting that fixed. Kind of feels like it should. Trying to see if maybe it's too slow, or like when you zoom in, should it move faster? I think it should. How did the previous master plan work in regards to that? It was always the same regardless of zoom level. Okay. Feels like it's always the same. All right, so then let's try that. So we want to basically multiply it by 4. We wish to also divide it, I believe. Or the zoom amount. This was more sensitive. It's not sensitive. That's no good. Maybe this is fine and it just needs to be a stronger result. Let's see. Yeah, no, that's no good. I think it's probably just this, and it just needs to be a stronger relative motion. Yeah, that's fine. At least for now. Okay. All right, so this is done. We'll just do that. Next is clicking to position the caret when you're editing text. Okay. So you should be able to click around to actually position the caret. And also be good to be able to pan while editing text. So this actually could be out here. Zooming, yeah, we can put that out here too. So you're editing text, you can still zoom, you can still pan. There we go. TJK says, so how do you handle on-screen text buffers? Do you have specific data structures for lines of text, or is it just manipulating a string? The way it works is it's not a string per se, it's a slice of runes. I believe I did that because back in the past, it used to be a string when I was editing text in MasterPlan, but that was proving problematic with UTF-8 other characters, you know, characters that are composed of multiple UTF runes or UTF-8 characters, like, you know, Japanese text where it's like, you know, different radicals combine, or I guess emojis are kind of similar in that they combine to create another emoji. Rather than representing those with a string where looping through the string can kind of kick it forward by, like, you know, 3 indices or something, depending on the character, it's better to just have a array of runes, because each rune represents a single character that's visible on screen, and then you convert it to a string when you actually visualize it. But yeah, the way that text works is that it's just a single string. So it's just like new notes, but then when you type too much, it basically splits it, and the text renderer that's the handle drawing the text returns the drawn text. It returns, why is this? Oh, it's index. Okay, hold on. It returns the drawn text here, a text renderer result, which is the image, like the texture, but then also the lines that it gets rendered out. So it can tell, like, oh, I just have new notes, you know, ASDF, ASDF, but when I render it out, it turns into new notes, new line, ASDF, ASDF. So it can tell the difference when you're, like, navigating with the caret like this. So yeah, we're just gonna make it so that when you click, it will get the closest point to that click point, set the caret to there, and that's it. So we're gonna go to GUI, which is not open. There it is. We want to if label editing globals.mouse.button SDL button left dot pressed. I guess we could just do it like this. Clicked in rect label dot rect world space true. All right, let's see. So this should work. There we go. So yeah, it's like position caret. Cool. So now we're just going to do something like label.caret position equals. Actually, we'll have to think about it. The way that this works, the way that this will have to work is basically when you click we get the position of the mouse. We loop through every character in the string, and then we just basically say like which one is the closest, right? Which point is the closest. So if you click here, then it should be like, okay, 1, that's close, 2, it's not close, and then basically that's it. Same thing for any other position. So it's not too hard to do. We just basically say for blank C in range label dot text x y equals 0 0 x plus equal font text dot width dot width font text lines. Okay, so we basically then see Brandon Berrigan says, "Yo, that's Pog." Thank you, Brandon, for reminding me of how Pog it is to program a productivity app. I really do appreciate. I really do appreciate it. Yo, that's Pog. Oh man. All right, so this should work, and then we want to basically, so we're advancing through each letter of each line of the text when we click, and then we just want to get the distance to the closest value, and that's kind of it. Okay. C index plus plus. Plus. Let's see. Don Duval says, "Is that a reference to the game we used to play as kids in the 90s?" Nah, Pog. Alpha's back in Pog form. No, Pog. Pog is like play of the game. It's, as I recall, it's basically internet lingo. Probably, I don't know if it was popularized by Overwatch, but that's what kind of brings it to mind, because they popularized the phrase like play of the game, right? So I think that's what POG POG stands for. Is just like, that's like top tier, that's GOAT, that's sick. It's basically different ways of just saying like that is cool. Distance to play of the plan, pop. Play of the plan. I'll keep that in mind. Play of the plan. Distance, it's gonna be other. So we need, I don't have anything that tells me the distance between 2 points. I need to make that function. Let's see, distance between points. What is it? Is it square root? What's the function? Square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So it's just x2 minus x1 plus y2 minus y1 squared. Like, what's the distance between 2 points? What's the fast version where you don't have to square it? I don't want to have to do the mental work of figuring out. Is this your Pythagorean? You want to just use squared distance? Yeah, I can just do distance squared. Which is just, because I don't need to actually have the distance in reality, I just need to convert it into a value that I can compare with another, you know, distance between another point. So I don't need the actual values, I just need them to be comparable and scale with distance, essentially. So I don't need them, I don't need to actually, okay, use the Pythagorean theorem to find the length of the third side. Okay, so it's just a squared plus b squared is c squared. That's the length. So it is other dot x minus point dot x plus other dot y minus point dot y, and this is going to be math dot power 2 4 x. Then we want to convert this back to the float 32. That's it. I believe that should be it. Distance given the following formula. So it's just, yeah, a squared plus b squared. Oh yeah, what was the reason behind moving away from Solus to Pop! OS? I don't remember. Unfortunately, Conifer, I do not remember. I was on Solus. It was good, but there was something that made me move to other operating systems, and eventually I just came to Pop! OS, and it's solid. It's fine. It's Ubuntu. It might have been like using synths, certain synths I was trying to get, like Linux synths. I don't remember. I know Surge is a great synth, and I do use it or have used it before, but I don't remember if that was it specifically that made me move. But if you're on Linux and you're making music, and you're on like an Ubuntu-based operating system or just a popular operating system, Surge is a great one. Check it out. Okay, so if all right, that should kind of do it. Boondy says hello. Hello, how's it going? Forty 32, 51 32, 68 32. Actually, we don't need the. Do we need the index? Do we need the index? I don't know. We might not. Let's see. We'll see. Let's try this. Let's just try it. Label.caret position equals C index. Let's see how this works. It's not working. Let's see. Ah, okay. I don't need the closest here. I need the closest index. This is Kevin Bonkasan says this is impressive. Yo, thank you. I'm working on it, trying to get it to work. Let's see. This is a little annoying. Yeah, it's not perfect. What I need to do is do something a little bit more like this. Why can't I? There we go. Let's see. So the hitbox is like there. So something like this might work a little better. Because the cursor is basically just off a little bit. Let's see. This is going to be in events. Load cursors. Okay, let's see. Great. Okay, yeah, so a hot zone is, yeah. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna actually tweak this a little bit. You know what, actually, before we do that, let me take a look at this. Are these cursors too big? I think they are. I think they're a little too chunky. But I guess that's fine. They don't have to be not chunky. But I think what I need to do probably is make it so that it's easier to put the cursors kind of in the center. So I'm going to do something like this instead. Yeah. So basically it's a 48 by 48 cursor instead of a 32 by 32 cursor. The cursor itself is still the same size, but the hot zone is in the center, which makes it easier to position things in the center, which means that this text editing cursor is now just a little easier to use. That's the idea. So we're going to say it's 48 by 48 now. Flags, width, height, depth. Format, and then the cursor is going to be 24 and 24 by 24 in. Zero 448 0 is now 432 0. And there we go. Okay, let's try that. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, that's way better. Okay. So this is not working quite right, but it's not actually that far off. It's just a little bit incorrect. So what we're going to do is figure it out. We're going to see why this isn't working correctly. This is probably the first part. We probably need to... Oh, hold on. Getting a call. I'll be right back. Okay, something has come up, and unfortunately I will need to stop the stream here. Yeah, very sorry about this. But yeah, I'll see about continuing this and picking it up as we move along. This was going to be a little short anyway. I was only planning to be to stream for a couple hours, but something has come to my attention and I need to stop here. But what I will do is I will probably establish my stream schedule to probably be on Thursday, not this week because I'm streaming today, but I'll probably normally do Thursday and Friday or Thursday and Saturday. I'll put it out on Twitter, on my Discord. I'll probably make a video about it too. So I'm going to try to make a kind of a consistent schedule because I know this has been kind of awkward for people who want to show up. I've been kind of all over the place. So thank you very much for your patience. I really do appreciate it. And I do want to keep working on MasterPlan, do want to keep working on DoorJam and other games and applications and stuff, and just keep making cool stuff. So please, or rather, thank you for supporting me. Thank you for watching my videos and for watching the stream. I really do appreciate it. And I'll have to catch you guys on the next time this week. All right. Thank you very much. I'll catch you on the flip side. See ya.